going on, guys? It's your boy Real Dealer Kill back again with another video. And as you can see, I'm cutting someone else's head. That's right, today's video I am cutting my first person's head. That isn't me. This is my little brother. Shout out to him for letting me graciously cut his hair. You know, my guinea pig for this video. Just so y'all know, I am not cutting anybody else's hair. This is strictly a family only thing. The only people that I will give haircuts to would be brother, my pops, and my wife and I's future children. That is it. Outside of that, no one else is getting a haircut. So please do not ask. Do not ask. But yeah, he allowed me to cut his hair, and this man has a lot of hair. Just as you can see, he's got the fro that he's rocking, so good thing I don't have to worry about cutting that down, but just cutting down the shot, cutting down the sides and his facial hair, and he's got a lot of facial hair, and it's thick too, so I probably have to spend about 15-20 minutes on that part alone. But as you can see, getting the lineup done. I will say, cutting someone else's hair is definitely a lot easier than cutting your own. Just because you get like the full scope of the person's head that you're cutting compared to yourself, where you gotta use different angles. You gotta get mirrors. You gotta have a way to cut your own head. You can't look at yourself cut your own head unless you have like a mirror or something. But it's a little bit more complicated to cut your own hair. But I feel like if you can cut your own hair, you're able to cut somebody else's hair. So, my brother, my brother, he didn't want to pay for a haircut, nor he probably doesn't have to pay for one ever again because he's got me. But who knows? Maybe I will start charging. But yeah, it was so much easier cutting somebody else's head that wasn't my own. I was able to get the lineup right, get the fade right. As you can see, I'm working on it now. Just a different experience. I wouldn't say it was easier. Well, okay, maybe easier is not the right word, but I will say the difficult part about cutting someone else's hair is that, of course, you don't want to mess up. You don't want to mess up what they already have or the look that they're trying to go for. Now, it's different. If I'm cutting my own hair and I mess up my own head, I can live with that. You know what I'm saying? But how does someone else live with cutting someone else's hair and screwing it up? You know what I'm saying? See, at least because I'm doing for my brother here, at least this cut right here is free of charge. Now imagine paying somebody and they mess up. That would be tragic. And like you see, I'm working on this fade. Honestly, bro, fading someone else's head is so much easier than fading your own. I have no idea why. It's like I said, I think it's just more to do with getting those angles that you need to hit. But as you can see, I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job, and he thought I did a good job too. So this, I would say, was a pretty successful cut in his eyes and mine. So I'll live with it. Just touching up those sides, you know what I'm saying? Just getting that nice and right, getting it blended. I mean, from here it looks pretty good. I guess we got to see once I'm done. But yeah, had to give it that look of approval. Now we're on to the other side. I will say, like, I have come a long way when it comes to cutting hair. When I first started in December, I really had no idea what I was doing, of course, like most people do when they try something new. But I will say this: if there is something that you should learn, that I suggest you should learn, is to cut your own hair. Learn how to cut your own hair. That is something that I think everyone should at least know how to do. I mean, primarily with a lineup, because you can get away with not cutting your head all around, but you should at least be able to give yourself a lineup. Because look, what if we have another COVID situation and you can't get a haircut? See, getting that look for approval. Look at that. Fade looking good from this angle, right? But yeah, back to my point. What if you can't get another haircut because we have another COVID situation, another lockdown? You're gonna be out of a barber for months, a couple months, and if your hair grows quick, a couple months, man, you go from looking clean to looking real dusty real fast. So learning how to cut your own hair is a cheat code because you can always freshen up. And honestly, I was getting more haircuts, I feel like, when I was going to a barber. Like, now that I cut my own hair, I don't cut my hair nearly as much as I usually do. I give myself a haircut once a month. But one thing I want to start doing is just giving myself an edge up, maybe like every other week, especially when I feel like it's getting a little out of hand. That way I can still keep it clean even though my hair all around is growing. But I will say this, man, I feel like I did a really good job for the first time. Oh no, actually this isn't my first time cutting my brother's hair. This is just my first time recording it. This is the second time, like, altogether that I have. But I mean, I've cut his hair 3 times. This time was definitely the best one. I'm so glad that I got this recorded, because the other 2 times, at least I didn't think I did too well, but he was okay with it. But I'm just getting it back. It's just, I don't know, man. It's so much easier cutting your own hair. Like, I see why people are cutting someone else's hair. Excuse me. I see why people get barbers, bro. I see why I had a barber. I mean, well, I didn't really think about starting to cut my own hair till about late last year. So something that I want is like, hey, I can save some money, and then if I get good at it, I get nice at it. You know what I mean? And plus, all you gotta do is just buy clippers one time. And of course, as time goes on, you're gonna want to get better clippers, so that way, your cuts, your shape up or your edge up's a little cleaner. Your fades are a little crispier because you got better clippers. But if you're just starting, that don't mean anything. Just get whatever clippers work. But this part right here, I was scared. He asked me to make slits in his eyebrows. I didn't know how I felt about that. I was a little scared, but he was like, trust your judgment. And that I did. And I feel like they turned out pretty well. Of course, you're going to get a close-up once I'm done with the cut. But so far, so good. As he looks right here. See that head nod of approval? Yeah, he was rocking with him. So this right here, I had to cut off all his facial hair, pretty much just the goatee parts. And now I'm just trimming it. Now we're at the finale, finishing up. My boy looks like a whole new man. Got a clean shave on. Got the goatee with the fade. Not too bad for my first time cutting someone else's hair. But shout out to my brother for giving me that opportunity and letting me cut his hair. Like I said, he's come back one other time. I don't think it's something that he just does consistently. But if he needs a cut, he can just come by and get one. But yeah, that's all. Hope y'all enjoyed this commentary in this video. I'll be back with another one. There's a video where I cut my own hair, and I realized I was messing up for a long time with my own cuts, but I'll share that in the next video. Hope y'all enjoyed this one. Leave a like, comment, and sub for your boy. Peace out. There we go. There it is. Do a preview. Gotta walk around. Hold on. Dang, I'm messing up. There we go. Got the back. Got the eyebrow slits. Not too bad. Not too bad.